All right, what's going on, everyone? It's Joe, and I'm back today with another video. Today, we're going to be going over another portfolio update. It is Wednesday, the September 24th, around 11:21 a.m. Eastern Time. Really excited to just kind of dive straight into things. And yeah, we're going to also be discussing WPAY's latest dividend payout. They just paid today via Robinhood. And I'm just going to kind of give you guys my overall sentiment and what I'm currently doing. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. All right. All right. So I'm going to give you guys kind of a brief update. So I'm recording this video today, again, September 24th, 2025. Here is the current state of things. Now, I did update this last time. As you can see, we are down actually from September 22nd to September 24th on the portfolio as a whole. The net account value went from $1,799.77 to $1,790. So we're down about like nine-ish, maybe $8.97 short, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. My monthly contributions have not changed whatsoever. And then I still have my three positions here: XDTE, QDTE, and WPay. As of right now, that's not changing. And today, WPay did pay out, which has been pretty awesome. I do need to make sure that the share amounts are correct. I know I have them updated here on my sheet. Let's see, 19.55, 5.93, 4.61. That should be correct because I did notice a discrepancy last time, and I did want to apologize about that, guys. But yeah, so these are up to date as of right now. This will be reinvested, which I'll talk about shortly. But yeah, this is how much WPay paid me. They paid me $2.37, which is fantastic. It's phenomenal for the limited amount of shares that I own in it. I currently have not bought any more just because it's still kind of in a good spot in terms of my portfolio, but it's fine. And then I also did want to let you guys know, last week in total, I got $7.73 from my portfolio in dividends paid out, which is pretty awesome. So, oh, and lastly, again, I do have $465 still sitting in cash. So technically, the only amount invested is this amount as of today, which you can see is where the net account value of my portfolio has decreased. So I went from, on the 22nd, which I believe was Monday, at $1,334.77 all the way down to $1,325.03 as of today. So without further ado, let's get into Webull, because that's where we're going to start things first. As you can see, I did get paid out my dividend last time. So let's see if I can pull this up. Let's click on XDTE here. These are old positions. Ignore this. So yeah, as you can see, I did get paid out on the 20th. The total amount was $3.09. I believe I covered this in my last video, but in case you didn't, and I did have this reinvested. So this was paid out for 14.73 shares, I believe. And as of today, you can see I have 14.87178 shares. So just rounding it up to 14.9, I guess, if you want to. Totally up to you. And then my current value, so my total cost is $651, and then my current value is $658.22. Again, I'm slowly just allowing my dividends to increase the amount until this gets to 15, and then I'll transfer over to Robinhood. And for those of you who are new here and don't know why I'm doing this, there's a couple reasons. So number one, the dividend gets paid out much slower. So usually like a few days late. So for XDTE, they pay me on Friday, but on Webull, sometimes it'll either be on Monday or Tuesday. Depends on what's going on, if there's been a holiday, et cetera, right? But I don't also love Webull because if I were to deploy cash right now, and it would kind of be in a pending state sometimes, depends. And so I wouldn't be able to purchase assets as quick as I wanted to, and not being able to capitalize in the moment. So that's something else that I really don't like, aside from the UI, UX. But aside from that, I do like certain aspects of what it does, especially when it comes to the dividends portion. And maybe I'm just kind of more newer to the. So I love how you can do this. You can kind of look back at every single dividend paid out like this. You can also see the P&L cumulatively, however you say that. Struggling with my words today. But yeah, that's it for Webull. And let's get straight into it. So this is the state of affairs, or as I like to say, the state of my account on Robinhood. As you guys can see, it's going strong. But it is down technically today, which has been kind of going down actually since, I want to say, September 21st is when we start, or September 22nd is when we started to see some dipping. So I think there's going to be a potential good buying opportunity coming up here soon. Now, again, WPAY did just pay out, so that's probably why we're experiencing a little bit of a dip today, which is normal. It's natural. But overall, for the day, WPAY is up 0.56%, so 0.5% roughly. And yeah, for the month, you can kind of see we're still going up and to the right. We are experiencing a bit of a dip, but these are usually the buying opportunities, I would say. Maybe we'll see. I am just kind of still staying with my dry powder, my buying power here. I haven't really decided. I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to buy into getting more WPAY, more QDT, more XDT, of course, but I want to buy it, once I feel a little bit more secure about the markets right now. And I have already invested quite a bit into this portfolio or these positions this month already. So I'm not like super desperate to buy more, but I do want to get this money deployed so I can start getting more dividends paid out to me. But I want to be strategic. I want to be smart about this. So that being said, let's get into WPAY. So I am excited to announce that, again, here's the amount WPAY has paid me. I'm waiting for it to be reinvested. Or I guess technically it's pending, but it's basically there. And then I'm waiting for it to also get reinvested to see how much more shares it purchases for me. As you can see, my total return is up $13.15 or 5.59%. And we are overall even for the day. So yeah, this is about 30. I mean, this is not really accurate, actually. I'm not going to even cover this right now. But yeah, as you can see, last time we got paid $2.48, and now we got $2.37, which I'll talk about the dividend payout in just a moment here. But I do want to cover my other positions, so let's get into it. So we also have QDTE. Again, sitting pretty strong. I'm up $7.92 for my total return, and that's a 3.88% total return overall. But for the day, I am down about 6 cents, about negative 0.03%. So that's okay. And then, yeah, as you can see, this is still in the green. WPAY still in the green. QDT still in the green. XDTE, however, it's looking not so pretty here. And I think, as you can see, it's really been choppy for the last week. There were some buying opportunities for a little bit lower, but it doesn't really make sense for me to DCA just yet. I'm anticipating, maybe that we might see a dip down back into the $43 potentially. But we shall see. I'm definitely not someone who's going to be doing some technical analysis in depth. Not yet, but maybe I'll make a video on it. But I did want to kind of cover that. So I'm only up $4.09 here. This is, and maybe this is actually not fully accurate because I do have the Webull position as well. So we'll go into my spreadsheet next. But on Robinhood, I'm up $4.09 and 2.01%. And then I'm down for the day, negative 8 cents or negative 0.04%. So the dividend for this will be paid out on Friday. And I believe this one also gets paid out on Friday, if I remember correctly, too. Not gonna lie, I kind of lost track of things. But let's get into, we already did XT. Okay, let's get into Webull real quick. So as you can see, this sheet, again, shout out to the Dividend Nomad, John. He's the one who I got this sheet from. But as you can see right here, we do have that for the day, QDTE and XDTE are down. Now, again, this is going to kind of fluctuate. This gets updated every 20 minutes, but the number of shares are accurate. My average cost per share is accurate, and the current share price is relatively close to what it is. So as you can see, our total return and our market return is looking good. XDTE is kind of where we're getting close to a negative market return. And again, we're still positive, so let's kind of stick through that. But if this does go negative, basically I'll take this opportunity to lower my average cost per share. And again, WPAY is crushing it as of right now. And here is my total portfolio allocation. Now, I believe this is also taking into consideration my cash that I have sitting here at $465, which is 25, or let's just round it up to 26% of my portfolio. But for QDTE, that's 11.84%. For XDTE, that's 48.34%. And for WPAY, that's 13.85%. So, and again, the annual dividend just doesn't work for these high income ETFs just because they're newer, right? Let's go to my dividend log. So I did update this according to, so as you can see so far, and of course, this will probably change, but so far, WPAY on its second dividend payout has exceeded QDTE. And I do still expect QDTE to pay me out this week, but I don't expect it to be, I expect it to be less than $1. So it'll probably be like pretty competitive with the two. But again, I don't know if WPAY will hold out on the dividend amount that they're paying out right now, And then XDTE is crushing it, of course. We got $12.23. So here is basically the totals of the dividends paid out for the year for each position. $4.01, that's pretty standard. $16.21 for XDTE because I got into that in August, and then $4.85 for WPAY, with a total of $24.45 for this month so far. And we are on the 24th, so we're getting close to the end, so we shall see what happens there. But let's get into WPAY. So as you can see, since my last video covering WPAY, we kind of did move down a little bit lower on the distribution rate. It's now 49.9%. And if we go straight into the distributions here, I will share with you guys this. So we did get, and I'll click this. Yeah, okay, this should be good. So we did get the first dividend payout at 54 cents, which is awesome to see. And then, like I kind of mentioned, I do think this will continue to go lower. And it was this time around 51 cents per share, which is awesome still. If we can stay above the 50 cents for at least another month, I will be pretty happy. But I do anticipate that this will probably go down to either the 30s or the 20, either 30 cents a share or 20 cents a share. Like XPay, it's monthly, similar fund by Roundhill, that is monthly. So monthly payout instead of a weekly payout like this one. But who knows? Maybe this fund ends up doing a little bit better. We shall see. And then I did want to check out the holdings because I think this plays a big factor. So as you can see, they're holding all their ETF weekly payout funds. So they're holding Apple, they're holding their AMD, the NV, I guess here, AAPW, AMDW, NVDW, Berkshire. I think this is the Berkshire. Yeah. BRKW, Hui, or Who, I guess, for Hood, Tesla, Netflix, Microsoft, Google, and AVGO, which I don't know what AVGO stands for. I'm not gonna be lying. And then yeah, I mean these are all pretty good. It looks like they maybe have they have Coinbase and they have a First American Government Obligations Fund. So yeah, most of their positions primarily in Apple, but not really primarily. Like these are all pretty evenly spread out between their funds, but this is where it's based on the performance of those. So, yeah, anything else with that? Let's see. Nope, we're good. So, all right, guys. So I have a dilemma here. It's pretty simple. I'm going to be waiting to see where the markets kind of go over the next of the next few days, and I'm going to be very carefully planning because historically speaking, September is really not technically a positive month for stocks as a whole, and we do have some more news coming out from the Fed, in the following months. I think October, December. I'm not sure if actually in November there's going to be anything, but those are primarily the months that they're going to be either discussing more about inflation rates, CPI, things like that. So I'm going to be very cautiously getting ready. And in the meantime, what I'm going to be focusing on is just reinvesting my dividends, and increasing my positions if I do see those stocks, those positions, those ETFs drop down lower, specifically if it gets close or lower than my current average cost per share. I'll probably be investing into that, but I will be paying attention. And something I did want to talk about, which let me lower myself real quick. So something I did want to discuss is, again, remember, QDTE and XDTE, these are especially XDTE is following S&P 500. So I do think that this will continue to do pretty well. But I am also looking into potentially other funds. Again, this is Liberation Day right here. That's what happened with the tariffs. And I mean overall, this is kind of new, so keep that in mind. But I do think this is going to perform relatively well long term. But I do think it's experiencing some dipping because it is a covered call strategy, and there is some current fear in the market. And the QDTE as well. It's part of the Innovation 100. It's tied to the Innovation 100 fund basically. And yeah, as we can see here, it's kind of basically following the same trajectory as XDTE. Like if we compare, let's see year to date, you can see kind of that same formation here. WPAY is too new, so we're not going to even bother comparing. But yeah, I'm going to keep investing into these, and I would love to get a bigger position in WPAY. So I think if we can get, and again, I wanted to keep going up, to be honest, but if we can get closer to, my average cost per share, yeah, I just might throw in some more money into it, to be honest. But I am currently looking into other funds. Now, I am still going to be sticking with 3 positions, but if at any point I feel like one of these positions aren't performing as well as I would like, then I may just transition those funds into one of my other positions or into a new position entirely. And I'll kind of discuss that in another video sometime. But yeah, just a quick reminder for those of you who are new, my goal is to basically go from zero to $1,000 a month in dividends. And in order to do that, I'm investing a minimum of $300 a month into this portfolio. As you can see, again, from my investing journal, which I update pretty frequently, and I keep and maintain this for your sake and my sake. I've invested around $1,098 this month. So that's pretty cool to see. And yeah, this is not my only form of investing. I do have retirement funds. I do have cryptocurrency as well, and so a few other things. But this is kind of more of a fun project to see if I can get some pretty cool income out of this. And yeah, that is currently what I'm doing. And I've been debating, and one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about as well is I've been debating whether using margin or not. Now, my account currently technically is not at the threshold it needs to be to use margin, but this is something that I will potentially look into using at least for a short time basis. And I would be very closely managing and using it, leveraging it to my advantage. I don't want to use it a little bit recklessly like I've seen some other YouTubers by any means. It's something that I kind of want to make sure like I'm constantly either keeping my margin maintenance as low as possible or my risk level as low as possible. And also, I want to make sure that that kind of gets paid off either through the dividends or through just contributions and stuff like that. But I want to potentially leverage it once there's buying opportunities. So that's something I'm considering, but I'm not 100% certain of. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, a like, a comment. All that goes a long way. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, you want me to cover any ETFs, any funds, comment down below. And yeah, we'll kind of go into more. So with that being said, see you guys next week. Peace.